You Africans, please listen to me as Africans. And you non-Africans, listen to me with open mind.
So, what did you think about that last track, Wale?
I love it, man.
That's Nini Ola, right?
Nini Ola,
designer
produced by SARS, man.
By Nini Ola.
It sounds even better, like in headphones than in the car.
Actually, it says featuring SARS, but
oh, do you know the song?
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
I'm sure I've posted the
On
song
my
before.
playlist.
So
Really?
On my Apple playlist.
It's a nice track.
It is.
It's a nice track.
Yeah, it's really nice.
We're gonna start off today's conversation with production, Afrobeat production, and we're gonna try to talk about some of the producers out there. The first being SARS. I think it's safe to say right now, and Wale, correct me if I'm wrong.
he's the best.
Right now, the most I'm trying to think of a term.
Most versatile producer.
The most versatile and probably the highest achieving producer we have.
I think so.
Right now. It's safe to say it's SARS.
I think so.
SARS on the beat. He was credited for One Dance, right?
Yes.
Now he produced that song originally.
Yes.
And I think 40
Yes.
probably just added his own flavor to it. But the story is
One
he produces.
Dance.
So wait, now did he get producing
He has
credits?
producing credits. Wiz also has the producing credits, which is weird.
Why is that weird?
Wiz is not a producer.
He's not a producer.
But they both have producing credits.
So, and One Dance was #1 on the charts. So I think it's safe to say that that's probably the only Nigerian-based producer that has reached that level. He's had plenty other songs.
So actually, let's just be sure, because One Dance, they give it to Maforisa actually.
For what?
DJ Maforisa, he's from South Africa. He has that song with Wizkid, Soweto too.
Yeah.
But I think I don't think he got credit for that actually. I think they gave it to Wiz instead of SARS.
SARS.
Yes.
But the word on the street was that SARS was one that originally produced it.
I think so. But
So what else does SARS have?
We can just put a star on that one. But
in terms of production, like
he has a lot, man. He did Come Closer, Wiz.
Yes, he did.
Bit of Life, Samba,
that was a whole wave.
He's done a lot of early Wizkid, mid Wizkid. He's done, like, I didn't have time to pull up his discography, but he's done, a lot, a lot of stuff. And he's the one who did the Nini Ola's Maradona.
Yeah, he did Maradona.
That was him. And like him and Nini Ola.
Was he behind Ojo Elegba?
No, I don't know if he was behind. You know what? He might be. I don't know if he was behind Ojo Elegba.
Because I feel like that was one of the songs that really put.
No, because Wiz, I don't want to Wiz, because Wiz usually rotates producers. Like Wiz doesn't really stick to. He had Legendary Beats at one point.
Yes.
Legendary
Beats.
Legendary Beats did a lot of Wiz beats. I think they're the ones who did that one with Femi Kuti. If you call a woman African, that Wiz was saying, I forgot the name of the song. But yeah, they've done a lot together.
All right, so I have a list here. I actually have a list here. Bad Energy. He did Bad Energy.
Bad Energy, yeah.
Leg Work. Interesting.
No, Leg Work is which one? He has one. That's the one I want to actually.
Oh, no, yeah. Sorry. It's the Leg Work Rhythm he did.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Leg Work Rhythm he did. He did Bad Energy. He did Samba.
Yeah, that's one I said, Samba.
What else does he have here?
SARS is done. I can't really think about a lot, but he's done a lot. He's done for people like Reminisce. He's done for people.
I know. We have to do him justice.
So Jai was the one that did it actually. That's the one I was thinking of. Jai. Wizkid. He's done a lot, but more recently his body of work has been with I think he's been
Kondo.
working. He did Kondo. See, there you go.
That was 2009 with Da Green.
With Da Green, yes, that's true. I remember that he did Kondo.
Lord of Ajasa.
Yeah, SARS has been around for a minute.
Joe, remember Joe?
Yeah, he's been around
Jobless.
for a minute. Yeah, he did Salute by Shank.
Salute, yes. I'm going down the list here.
So he's done a lot. And he's been here for a while.
Yeah,
I think he's probably
been here.
done.
And this was as far back as 2007.
Yeah, Saz has been
2008.
It's not new.
He did Shank. He did songs with Shank.
Yeah, that's Salute to do with Shank.
2011, Banky W, Low Key. Neto C, Super C season. What else? He worked with Shank a lot back then. Bad Man, he did.
So
Dance for Me in 2012, Get Down Tonight. He did a bunch of songs with LD back then. 2013, he did.
He's done a lot more with Wizkid.
Jaye.
He's the one that did. Dang, I don't know if he's the one that did Coding Diet.
Yeah. But moving on to 2014, what else? Okay, he had a few over here. Buddy. Reminisce. He worked with Reminisce.
But anyways, Saz done a lot. He did Diet. I'm on a Coding Diet.
He did Coding Diet.
So, but anyways, here's the thing you need to let's move on from.
Yeah.
You can tell that it's different. You can't really pinpoint. So, Coding Diet is a Shaku Shaku song. You have songs like the Shank ones. They're more dancehall-ish. You have Come Closer with Wizkid. He's very versatile. You have the one we just played right now. And like Nigerian producers are blessed, but a lot of them you can kind of, once you hear the song, you kind of say, oh, is this guy or is this that guy? But with SARS, sometimes you don't know.
You never know.
And he's killing it, and he's been working closely now with Niniola and what's that guy that like World D? Is it World or World D? Whatever.
World D.
But he's been working with him and they've been doing amazing projects together. I don't know if they have an album coming up, but I think they should.
You posted something on the thread the other day. Some tweets he was putting.
Yeah,
out.
he was talking about so he has the song Wizkid and Pato Rankin on Pato's album.
What was it called again?
This Kind Love.
This Kind Love.
So he said
they do me like womp, womp, womp.
He produced it. Wiz did his part and sent him the song to listen to.
Yep.
And he didn't like it. And then Wiz called him to be like, oh, the song is nice, right? And he was like, yeah. But even they didn't like it. But then he was like, no, guy, truthfully, I like your part, but I think Pato Rankin's part is shit.
And he was shitting on him.
Wizkid was like, guy, yo, speak up from Pato Rankin is here. You get? So, but, kudos to them. Kudos to Pato Rankin for not letting that sway him, because the song did come out like that. And it's a nice song. And Saz said he must have been on something, because actually it is a nice song.
Yeah, his real name is, I think he's one of these Benin boys, Osabon here Osaritin. 29 years old. He's even pretty young.
Well, it's good.
So
he's done a lot. But so he's one of the, I like the style he's going, especially with like World D, Niniola. He's giving us house-ish vibes. And like Niniola songs can get like DJs, like I think it was like DJ Snake that did the Maradona Redeem, like they can get reusing stuff like that. A lot of our songs can't really be, like you look at back then Jamaican songs, what made them good was like the different rhythms they have, and then like you hear one beat but you hear like 10 different versions, and eventually you will like one of them and people can mix it. I don't want to mix it. So like Niniola songs get played in like, quote unquote white clubs and pop clubs, because his beats,
like a South African.
Yeah, it's like it has a sound. So he did that. There's a lot. If you get into a list of producers, there's a lot. But I think he's the top right now.
He's up there, and he has an album out right now.
Number two?
He has an album.
He has an album right now called which is tightly
and
right.
It's just full of rhythms.
I love it, and it's tightly is titled "SARS is not your mate."
What I like is that he keeps experimenting with his sound, and that's what I appreciate about him.
That's what that is.
And too many producers, they don't.
Yeah,
they just do the same cookie
when
cutter.
When you listen
copy
to
and paste type of
and
beats.
I don't want to be the anti YBNL guy or Olamide guy, but like, Olamide came out with Woscare recently, and I said that's what he does best. He just knows how to hop on a wave or create a wave and stay relevant. What's that?
Yeah.
It's outside. Someone's car.
Hold on a second.
You want to check and make sure it's not yours. You were asking something. You asked something earlier.
I said if he's number one, who's number two?
Good question. Good question. I don't know. Wale, maybe. Wale, don't worry. Just come back.
I gotta make sure now. You say it.
Yeah, don't worry, it's not yours. As long as it's not yours.
Yeah, I couldn't say it.
And you locked the car, your car. Right?
Yeah. Anyways, so you have back to what I was saying. You have with like the Phils and Young John. You can kind of tell, especially Young John.
So,
Young John.
so Yade was asking who if SARS is number one, who's number two?
I don't know, man, because a lot of guys, like the guys who are doing like Burner's new stuff, but they are not yet been.
Who did Killing Them? It done the killing and shot.
Look it up actually. Burner's been trying some new. I don't want to say they're new because some of these guys you would think they're new and then you realize that man they've actually done one of your most favorite songs before. But I think number 2 is gonna be hard. I used to like Sheezy, but Sheezy's been quiet.
Sheezy's the one that does most of DMW's.
He used
stuff,
to do
right?
no. Now it's produced by Kel P. That's what I'm like. Do you understand? I've never heard of the guy before, but I'm pretty sure he might have done some hits before. Sheezy used to do a lot of the video stuff back then, but now I think it's not long. It moved from Sheezy to Kidomina, from Kidomina to Fresh.
What about the one that I always say, really? Like they had, I think you know that tag?
Yeah, there's a tag. Yeah, there's a lot. You know, that's the thing. A lot of these new cats, I don't really know their names. But I don't know number 2. I like Kidominant a lot though.
And I think it's important to know these producers because they're the ones driving.
I like Kidominant
the
a lot. I think I also like this guy, Techno.
Techno is a producer.
Techno brings out new sound. But I don't know who number 2 is gonna be, man.
Phils is really young, Sha. Philip Kayode Moses. He's 24 years old. 1994.
Some of these things might be football age though, but
1994.
it's possible.
He's worked mostly with Olamide.
Yeah, Phils.
He did Duro Soke.
One producer I like that people don't necessarily give credit to is Gospel on the Beat.
So what song?
Listen to that No Killing by Patoranking. No Kissing, sorry.
No Kissing.
That beat is crazy. Like every time recently I was watching a reaction to it and like they were more reacting to the beat than to the song. So they're like, yo, what's this? You know, like what's that sound? You know, like and I watched the behind he did a YouTube video of how he created the beat and like this guy's it's amazing. Like this guy has like 10 instruments playing. Like you pick it up after once you start hearing, you know, and it goes dun, dun,
yeah, that's a job.
He did a good job. So we have a lot. We have a lot of good guys, but number 1 is SARS. I don't know what number 2 is.
Phil. I'm looking at Phil's discography right
Legendary Beats too,
and he has quite a few.
And then not only in Nigeria, let's get there. Q Beats. There's you know, we got the Ghanaian brothers. You know, I think Q Beats is one of them. So let's give them out today. Too, they've adapted to our Nigeria sound.
Q Beats. So what did Q Beats do?
A lot of this guy's songs. That group, the duo. I forget them. R2Bs.
R2Bs.
A lot of R2B songs.
Is he Ghanaian?
R2B is a Ghanaian. You don't
know
know
No,
R2B
I'm
is.
saying is the producer Ghanaian?
Yeah, Q Beats is Ghanaian.
Q Beats is Ghanaian.
Yeah.
Interesting. Let me see what it looks like. Q Beats.
Q Beats is Ghanaian.
Can you spell it?
Q Beats, like it kills the
Like
beats, but with a
kill.
Z. Q Beats is Ghanaian. He's done a lot of R2B, like Slow Down.
Yeah,
with
Ghanaian
Wizkid.
music producer.
He's done. He did Azonto
from
with
Tema.
Fuse. You know Fuse, that Fuse song
Yes.
Azonto. He did Antenna with Fuse. He did a lot of CCTV with King Promise, which is a good one. Yeah.
Okay, so
He did that one when Ed Sheeran went to Ghana. He's the one that produced that Ed Sheeran song.
Word.
Yeah, that BB. Yeah, so he's good. He's so we got people like that too. We can't forget them.
Let me see. I'm seeing something about Q Beats Grammy. Becomes first Ghanaian producer to win a Grammy.
Probably from Ed Sheeran's album.
Get out of here.
Yeah, probably from Ed Sheeran's album. Yeah.
Hold on.
What song is that?
It's a song Ed Sheeran sang in there.
You're right. Ed Sheeran. It was on the Divide album.
Yeah, I think their language is called.
60th Grammy Awards was held on Sunday.
I think that's what it's
blah
called.
blah blah blah.
BB is BB something. BB. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The song was part of Ed Sheeran's Divide album, which won Best Vocal Album. So I guess as a result he won.
So we can't.
That's huge, man. That's huge. I'm glad you brought that up because if we had missed that, the Ghanaians would have, our Ghanaian people would have let us hear.
We can't. We can't
Kill
forget
Beats.
them.
That's dope.
But there's a lot of other Nigerians. Spells. Did we talk about Spells? Spells is good.
Spells. Can you spell it?
Spelz. Spells is the one that did Askamaya.
Spells Benjamin
Obaje, yep. Fresh from Davido's team, you know. I just don't like when one producer is doing like everything. That's my problem. So
I feel like
Davido has a way of doing this thing where he sticks to one producer for like a year. You produce every song he does, and then by next, which helps his music too. But the only thing that for that whole year, that's why you have like this likes of If and Fall. Like if you play If and Fall together, you can almost sing it as one song.
As one, yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I don't know which one I'm listening to.
Yeah. Sometimes, and a lot. But the thing is, that's what happens to song every year. But the good thing is, he switches them up. Yeah, well, every other year or whatever. So
did you guys hear
there's
that?
the guy who did Soccer. It's called Knock Boy.
Soccer. Oh yes,
he did Soccer. He did Gucci Snake. It's called Knock Boy. Yeah.
Who is the person doing all these?
And then you have
all these new.
You have Killer Tunes also, which is also.
So who's the person doing a lot of these Zanku beats? Is it the same person that's doing a lot of these Zanku type beats? These Able God.
You can look at who did Able God.
Able God producer. Let me look it up.
But as far as like body of work goes, as far as body of work goes, you have DLB, who did Mad Over You.
He worked a lot with Runtown.
That's
right?
another like.
Because I remember
he was on Wizkid's sound from the other side. So you have like a lot of, you have Cess, the problem producer, who does a lot of foul stuff. So you have a lot of guys. But as far as like consistency, for me it's SARS, Kidominat. Like those two guys, they've never disappointed me. Kidominat did well. Like Kidominat has that song that he did also, Fela and Versace.
Yeah, he did.
We killed the song, and then you have Legendary Beats, who's I think they're going into their own like music career. And then you have like the
Legendary
the old
Beats
heads.
was behind Azonto actually.
By
he
Wizkid
did the
Azonto.
Wizkid Azonto. He did let me see.
God, there's a lot, and there's a lot, there's a lot of new guys, you have all them. We talk about Spells now, right?
Yeah, we talked about Spells.
Even this guy,
Legendary did Ojo Elegba.
Even Legendary did, yeah.
Ojo Elegba.
Even that's what I thought. Even this guy, Ade.
He did Caro too.
There's a guy called
Caro.
Ade did Juice. Two more Juice, two more Sauce. It's his name is, I think it's Ade on Instagram, something like that. He's been there's a lot of producers.
When it comes to
consistency,
music, right? You have to give it to Nigerians. We are very skilled at this stuff.
Yeah.
I wanted to go back to SARS. One of the things I like about him is his use of instruments. I've heard trumpets in his songs. I've heard ilu, like those drums. Those local drums. I've heard.
Don't forget, shout out Malik Berry too.
Oh yeah, he's a good producer.
Yeah, he produced.
But I feel like a lot of his songs,
they sound a lot too.
They sound a lot
alike. Well, when he sings.
They sound a lot
Let
alike.
me forget this guy who did a lot of Flavor and Banky W songs, Mastercraft.
Yeah,
so there's a lot, man. I'm saying there's a lot.
Mastercraft.
I mean, your guy self. Even though it doesn't produce again Don Jazzy,
So now I was going to get to Don Jazzy. I was actually going to try to end the conversation with Don Jazzy because we have to admit the godfather of all of them is Don Jazzy. What Don Jazzy did for
I
music
think the godfather
production.
of them is OJB. R.I.P.
Oh, yes.
OJB,
Yes. Because I know even Don Jazzy used to shout out to
yeah.
OJB. OJB kind of started it, and he kind of
But the new age, maybe the new
He
age.
created a lane, but then Don Jazzy took it and
yeah,
ran
the
with
new
it.
age one
And then,
is
but
Don
not only
Jazzy,
did he run with it, he sustained it for years.
He did.
Years. I'm talking about, like, I have his list in front of me right now, man. It's not even. It's too many to list.
Yeah. He did the new age music.
All of them.
All
his artists. He produced all their albums.
Yeah.
And he had a way. Even though yes, he would stick with that. I noticed what Don Jazzy. He would have a sound, and he would kind of beat that sound to the ground, and then he would switch to something different. I remember when he came out with Eminado. As soon as he came out with that, he had like a bunch of songs that sounded just like that. And then
I like the earlier Don Jazzy, the More Hits Don Jazzy. I prefer the More Hits Don Jazzy because I think the More Hits Don Jazzy did more work than the
You think so?
Maven Don Jazzy, because a lot of people said the Maven Don Jazzy had those two producers, I forget their name, who did most of his work. Some people even claimed he just would tag his name on it. But the old Don Jazzy of More Hits,
Bumper to bumper.
That's the Don Jazzy.
That's
the Don Jazzy I
Who
like.
born the Maga?
That was the Don Jazzy that
Something about
was
you.
not even easy accessible. Like
What?
I remember when he did the song with Sauce Kid on that G.
Under G, yeah.
everybody was like, whoa, what? Because he didn't used to work outside of,
his own artist
at the time. But I think the Maven Don Jazzy, because he then became like the CEO, he wanted to go a different direction. I mean, you can't really be running a label and then be producing, even though it wasn't like, he was still running Mo Hits, but it was like he was more of a backseat in Mo Hits. So I think he had the time to, but then coming to Mavis, you're like the face of so I guess it probably took away from his producing, and you evolve. He's a businessman now.
And then he also produced for Kanye and Jay-Z. You can't forget that. He produced Lift Off.
Yeah, he has credit on Lift Off. Yeah,
he worked.
I just feel like, I don't know, man. My problem with Jazzy,
I think Jazzy is the
is that I no, but I mean, my problem when it comes to
the decades he
I wanted him to do so much more with Mo Hits, and that's where I think my disinterest with Jazzy started, when I saw an interview he did.
But nothing lasts forever.
No, but I saw an interview he did, and it seemed like he was very comfortable. And a lot of people are fine that way, being a big fish in a small pond. And it's funny, we're having this argument the other day.
Okay.
Would you rather be a big fish in a small pond or a big fish in a big pond?
In a big pond.
Or a small, and because people always think you gotta be a big fish in a small pond or a small fish in a big pond. You can be a big fish in a big pond. He seemed very like, because he would say stuff like, in the interview was like, I send them beats when I make it. If they like it, they use it. If they don't like it, they don't use it. I'm like, dude, you have the platform to actually be the best producer in the world. But he was like, he didn't seem like he wanted to. I don't want to say he didn't want to apply himself. Yeah. I do know, like, he was saying he was pissed because, not pissed, but like Kanye always wanted that same beat, that, that song, Give It To Me Now, Give Me Now. Like, Kanye kept always referencing that song, and I don't think he wanted to recreate the same type of beat again. But I understand it's a new market, and you're done from where you're coming from. But this is time for you to go. This is time for you to go into the bigger world and be like, I can be a wheel in the Atlantic Ocean.
But tell me, how did that whole? I remember that time. It was around that time. D'banj was moving on with.
How did what?
How did the whole thing end? After that whole thing happened, with D'banj going off with Kanye, and then Don Jazzy coming back to Nigeria. Remember, they were stuck in New York for a while.
Yes, they were stuck in New York for a while.
And then he was producing for Kanye for a while. And then he got sick of it.
Yes.
He moved back home.
Yes.
D'banj stayed with Kanye.
Yes.
How did that whole thing end? He came back. He established maybe.
But do you know that we have
records after that?
Wait. You guys should not disrespect D'banj, because D'banj is the reason why we're having this conversation. Okay. If not for D'banj, there will probably still be more hits. Don Jazzy would have never gotten credit on these guys. Don Jazzy would have been only, who knows what he will still be doing in Nigeria right now. This, obviously, the situation helped him. D'banj is the reason why they didn't listen to his song and say, "Oh, get me that producer." It's D'banj they met.
But then
D'banj fought for this.
But then they split up.
Yes.
And we didn't.
Sure, it was a blessing in disguise for him, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't give because if D'banj was an average Joe, and when he heard Kanye was going to be the same airport, and he was like, "Oh, cool, Kanye, let me take a picture," like most of our artists do. They'll take a picture and they'll be writing, "Check this space, work coming." So I'm like, guy, you're not doing shit. D'banj took it further than that. D'banj is the reason why they went to New York. D'banj is the reason why they were stuck in New York.
He took risks.
He took the risk. D'banj is the reason why Wiz is signed to RCA. D'banj is the reason why the video was signed to RCA. D'banj is the reason why they're looking into our music, because someone has to take that step first.
He did.
D'banj is the reason why Don Jazzy ended up being his own CEO, because eventually they might have still been more hits.
I mean,
they might have still been. Both of them, but one. I think one
ultimately the talent that really mattered, that really drove that success, that really drove that partnership. I mean, it was Don Jazzy.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think it was. You
don't think so?
I think it was One Day and the rest, because they used to say One Day and the rest used to write. One Day and K Switch used to write songs for D'banj.
Yeah, but you still had.
He lost One Day.
It was still the central focus of everything was still that production, Don Jazzy's production.
Yeah, but if that's the case, then none of them will have hits outside of Don Jazzy. One Day left and he got hits.
It didn't happen overnight though.
Because One Day left, he didn't leave to go join another team. He left to be himself. Guys, to be your own self is hard. Do you know that with D'banj and do you know that Don Jazzy and D'banj almost sold more hits for $1 million to Storm Records?
$1 million.
$1 million back then. $1 million. Guy, when it started,
That's nothing.
to Storm Records that had all them Native C and everything.
Yeah, I remember that.
OB,
They ended up
Issa
doing like
guy
a partnership
or something.
at that time.
So I don't even know how it ended up, but they almost sold it. This guy, so of course, in your beginning stages, you know, like, I've looked at their stories. I've looked online because I followed this whole the band Don Jazzy split, and I didn't like the fact that people were belittling the band, and like, you know, the band did something where, and I would hear shade. This thing sounded like it was Don Jazzy that got tired of the band. Maybe the band said, Don Jazzy said, guy, we reached a stage that if they play a song on the radio, I'll turn it off. That's what Don Jazzy told to him. And seeing Don Jazzy's part too, it seemed like he was frustrated at the band. But he would make sure, I don't think he ever took the band serious, because he would say stuff like, the band doesn't have talent, but the band is the kind of guy where if he goes to, like if he says stay here and do something, he will stay here, but he will make sure you know that he's staying here. Like you say the band stay here, like with that harmonica he plays, he will know how to make it to get your attention better than somebody who probably plays better instruments or bigger instruments. And what I just took from that is that the band has the work ethic for it. It was like, look,
He did.
I want to be
He
this.
put in the work.
And
I'm not taking anything from
Jazzy
the band. I'm not
was
taking anything from
Solex's
him.
drummer or something like that, or producer. Like, dude, face the fact, that man would say to you,
Don Jazzy, but you know Don Jazzy could play almost every instrument, right?
dude, it's not about playing every instrument. You know the
talent.
best decision Don Jazzy
You
made.
can't deny the
The
talent.
first, Don Jazzy has made two decisions that has favored him. The first one that, and which is the one that is the most ultimate one, was moving back to Nigeria with the band.
Yeah.
He was Mr. Solek's drummer. Do you know who Mr. Solek is today?
No.
He's just one. He's like all these guys you call to. You know how you were saying in our village, in my village, that they used to call live band.
Yeah.
That's what he does.
Wale, I'm not taking anything from the band. I'm just saying that what really drove. You cannot.
I think they were a good team.
Dismiss the
That's
fact
all.
that what really drove that partnership.
I think they were a good team. I think
Fair
that's
enough.
that's
We should
what
move
it
on. We
was.
should move on
Yeah.
though. I was gonna talk about what else is going on in Afrobeat, man.
Nothing new.
Burna Boy and Steph London.
Yeah.
It's kind of like an obvious pairing when you really think about it.
Why?
They're both from the UK. They're both, they're
they
both.
both have Jamaican accents.
I never said that.
Did you see